You're good. Oh, oh man, that was tough.
So we have a follower on there.
We do. Hello, thank you for joining us. Sorry you had to deal with all of our technical difficulties. But we're glad to have you here. This is our episode number 23 for our podcast. It will be recorded and posted to our YouTube and all of our podcast services. So you can find it again there as well. What are you doing?
Oh,
Just leave it how it is, please. Oh my gosh. So today we're going to kind of go over injuries. As you can tell, my mom over here has hurt herself just a little bit.
I fractured my thumb. Getting ready to go get a cast on here in just a little bit, actually.
Yeah. So having an injury, whether you're in a sport or not, is mentally challenging. And athletes, yes, you are more likely to have those injuries happen. That's just like part of playing sports, and it sucks. It really does suck. But being able to push through it and not just like drop into that like depression and just like the not wanting to do anything and letting the pain and the sadness that it is to not be able to continue to do your sport like take over is like really challenging, but it's really important if you want to be able to come back and be in full swing.
Yeah, I've noticed that, when this first happened, I'm like, oh, it's not a big deal. I'll get home because I did it on vacation. Get home, go to the doctor, figure out what's wrong, get a cast on if needed. It'll be fine. And I was supposed to get a cast on yesterday, and time went through, and frustrated. Didn't sleep well last night, and woke up this morning and got I was kind of angry this morning, and I was hurt, and I was tired, and I didn't want to do anything. And I kind of went through that self-sabotaging moment of just wanting to eat bad, wanting to just hang out and watch movies because I was feeling sorry for myself because I can't do my hair. I can't put my face on. I can't, I had no coffee. My husband had to go get me coffee. So it's just kind of been, I've never been hurt like this. I've hurt my ribs a couple times, but never broken anything. So this is a new challenge. And with anybody, we all have that. When you get hurt, how do you deal with it? Do you get depressed? Do you get upset? Do you roll with the punches? How do you deal with it? Allie, when you had shoulder surgery, you went through all those emotions.
Yeah. When I had shoulder surgery, I pushed harder than I've ever probably pushed before. But at the same time, I also did fall into a depression. I did feel angry. I was extremely sad. I'm a very independent person. I like to do things, myself. I like to have people around me, but like doing the actual tasks, I do like to do myself. I don't really like to have help doing them. So to not even to be able to get dressed or shower by myself, I couldn't wash my hair. Like I couldn't shave, like just like the little things that I can always do by myself. I couldn't do it by myself anymore, and it like made me feel worthless, and I felt so bad. Like, of course I have an amazing boyfriend who like I'm very thankful was there and, got me through all of it and did everything that I needed and helped me through everything. But I felt bad that I had to rely on him.
But what did you do? I mean, I kind of remember the process, and I remember, because you were home when you first had it done. And when you first had it done, you got upset, and you struggled, and we all saw that. But I also saw an amazing thing with you, that you really pushed yourself to do your exercises. You had a goal because you were in the middle of basketball season or was it the start of basketball season, and you wanted to be able to play that year. And so you really had that goal in mind. So you had to do your exercises. You had to push through so that you would have a chance to play. So why don't you tell everyone a little bit about that, because it's pretty a big journey for you.
Yeah, it was. So I was in postseason, or not postseason. I was in preseason for basketball season. We were, having like light practices that, more drills, more like working on fine tuning skills, not necessarily doing like plays and everything like that, but lots of workouts. And I had done some physical therapy because my shoulder was acting up. I've had shoulder issues since high school. And they've been kind of on and off. And then, I was going really hard because I really wanted this to be like a good season for me. We had a new coach, so it was new opportunities, new chances for me to be able to step up. And so I did everything that I could. And then one day during workouts, we're doing those overhead presses, and I just felt something happen, and I just knew it wasn't right. My shoulder when I had gone up, my shoulder had popped out, and it hurt. It scared me because I didn't know if I went back down what was going to happen, and I had weights in my hand. I went back down, my shoulder did pop back into place, but it scared the heck out of me, and it hurt, and from there, nothing was the same. I was in pain, so I ended up doing physical therapy for a while, which helped a little bit, but I was just feeling like constant pain, and that's unusual. Anyways, finally saw the doctor, had to have surgery, went through the whole thing, and I still had this mindset that I had set before I had surgery, that I was going to work the hardest I possibly could to do everything I could, because my surgeon had told me I can be anywhere from 4 to like 8 months of recovery. And I said, I'm going to get it done in 4. And because I wanted to be ready for season. This was COVID year, so everything was pushed. We would have started playing in December when I had surgery, but we didn't end up playing until like April, or like end of March, beginning of April, or something like that. And so I pushed, and like I got home, and for Christmas, and I had to do my exercises, and it was so challenging, and it was like a wake up of, this is going to be a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Not even being able to hold up my arm by itself. Like I literally had to hold my arm, and then having to move it out, and seeing how I used to be able to move it all the way out here, and now I can barely move it off of my chest, my stomach. It was really, really challenging to experience, but it was also really rewarding, which sounds really weird to say, because like the first couple days not being able to move like at all, barely anything, it made me feel like put down, and like I feel like I should be doing better than this kind of thing, one day post surgery. But as the days kept going on, it got easier, and I could go further, and I could do things further. So then I it was like, oh, I'm doing it. Like it's going to get better. It's not going to, like, it's going to be hard, but at least I'm still making progress, and it's not the same thing every day. And for the first 2 weeks to a month of surgery, it was kind of that roller coaster of, oh, I feel like I'm doing really good. Oh, I'm not making progress. Oh, I feel like, like going up and down with it. And then after those 3 months, I feel like I kind of went downhill. I still had like the mindset of I wanted to be done, but the exercises got more challenging, and also trying to be more involved with like my practices with my teams and stuff. That was really challenging because I showed up to everything, and I was like, okay, if I can do like once I was able to run, I'll go do the run, or while you guys do this, I'm going to go up to the gym and walk, power walk on the treadmill or whatever it was, so I could still be involved, still be like making progress. Um, it was very challenging. I don't really, it's hard because recovery is a roller coaster no matter what. There's going to be times where you want to just like let the downfalls downfall. But one thing that I did through my recovery was I recorded myself doing the same exercises. So I would record myself doing the same one, and then it was like week 1, week 2, week 3, and so on, all the way through, and being able to see this is where I started. This is me literally post tears in a video, to now where I can, I can reach my arm up.
Yeah. And if anyone that's watching or is, watches this after we're done has experiencing like this and has any tips and tricks on how you went through any kind of recovery after being injured, we'd love to hear it because everyone goes through it differently. But like Allie said, she went through so many different stages. And I think that's, with anything, we go through that mental stage of being angry and then saying, oh, it's going to get better. And, oh, am I making any progress? No, I'm not making any progress. Oh, well, maybe I am making progress.
Yeah.
So it's constant ups and downs. But then at the end you go, oh, I'm proud of myself because I'm getting to I'm recovered. I can now play again. And so how did that feel for you when you were actually cleared and able to play?
It was very exciting. I was very excited to finally be playing, and but it was also scary, because you have this like internal fear of, oh my God, what if I hurt it again, or what if I'm not ready, or whatever it is. So it was scary, and I think for my first couple weeks of like full practice and games and everything, I was a little bit scared, but I also was like, okay, I just have to trust myself, and I just have to, like, if it hurts, don't do that again. You know what I mean? And just trust myself that I know what I'm gonna do is right, and also that my physical therapist, my surgeon, like everybody has gotten me to the point, and they're not like putting me in danger to re-injure myself.
Right. Well, it's just like, the old saying, if you fall off the horse, get right back on. Because if you had chosen not to play anymore because you were scared that you were going to re-injure your shoulder, then you would have had the thoughts of, what if I could have? And then you would have beat yourself up for that. So you showed yourself that you could, and you were able to play, and you had a good season. So it's, you go through all of those emotions. I'm just kind of in the beginning of mine. And even when I first had my first x-ray or first appointment with my doctor, he's like, just make sure you move your fingers all the time and make sure and keep that strength up. So, I mean, I'm going to Mexico in 3 weeks. I don't want my cast on. I want to be healthy. I want I want to be able to tan all my arm, not just part of it. And so, so I'm doing the exercises. I'm, taking vitamins I need to take to heal, and just taking care of me, post after today, just because I had to have a down day. And I think that's okay. I think it's okay to give yourself a break, to cry, to be upset. I mean, no, I didn't want it to happen. Yeah, it was stupid. I lost my balance and fell backwards and hurt my hand. And it's stupid, but it happens. And no, I don't know the reason why it happened, but okay, here it is. So I have the choice. I have the choice of wallowing and being mad that it happened, or I have the choice of saying, okay, bring it on. I have stuff I got to get done, and I'll take a day. I'll take a day and just be upset and cry and do whatever I need to do. But tomorrow is a new day, and tomorrow I'm going to be amazing again.
Yeah.
And I think that's where people really struggle with sometimes, because if you don't get your mindset to the point where you can say, give yourself a break to be sad, to be upset, for a day, and be okay with that. and then say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to get up again, and I'm going to get up again, and I may fall again, but I'm going to get up the next day.
Yeah.
And as long as you continue to keep getting up, then you're going to succeed and you're going to get better, and you're going to learn a ton from it.
Yeah. I totally agree. I think the biggest thing that I could probably applaud myself for during my recovery was letting myself feel my feelings. And sometimes I didn't feel them the right way. You know, I got angry but it's hard when you get injured. It's like a drastic change in your life. Regardless if it's a simple injury, a major injury, or you know what I mean? Like anything in between. Like it's going to affect you. Let yourself feel it, but don't let it inhibit you from your goals. Like if, you know, you want to go to Mexico and you don't want to be in a cast in Mexico, that's your goal. So you're going to hope that everything's going to go that way and make sure that whatever the doctor tells you to do, you're going to be doing those things. Same thing if you have like a physical therapist or something like that. Make sure you're doing what you need to do. And like, I know I could have done better in my physical therapy as I was recovering, but it's hard. So I did what I could. And of course you can always do better. Of course you can always put in more, but just know that it's okay. And then once you're back in the game or you're back to your goal, don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself to the others, like your team, because they didn't go through what you went through. And it's not only a physical toll, but it's a mental toll. And so don't compare what they can do to what you can do, because you're starting from square one. You have to start completely over. And like literally in functions and learning how to remove your body in the, you know, whatever you got hurt with. So just make sure that you don't compare that to anybody else.
Right. Everyone deals with trauma in different ways. So some people will be okay and be like, hey, this is it, and I'm going to keep going. And some people, they're devastated, and it sets them back. And so, but as people that are trying to get a stronger mindset, that's when you have to realize, okay, where do I want to be in this situation?
Yeah.
And I think that's where you have to analyze right off the bat. Don't wait. Okay, it's happened. Now what do I do? Where do I see this happening? Where do I see this going? And, you know, to have that mindset of, okay, I see it. Now what do I do? And write it out and figure it out. And what do I need to do in each situation that comes about during this time, so that I can be as mentally prepared as I possibly can.
Yeah, plan of action for sure. And it's nice, a lot of times like doctors or your physical therapist or whoever you're going to, they give you the plan of action. They say, okay, this is how long, you know, we're going to be in this step. This is how long we're going to be in this step. And during these steps, we're going to be working on this, 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 and this. This is my goal for you by this point. And they also ask you, what is your goal? You know, like, what is your goal by this time? Like, what are you wanting to do? When I told my physical therapist, I said, I want to be done in 4 months. I want to be playing. This is the date of my first game, and I want to be ready by then. And she said, okay, we're going to do it. And she worked really hard with me to get there. And I honestly wouldn't have without her. If I had someone else, I don't think I would have either. And so just like work with the people around you. Like, I used my boyfriend a lot to help me, to encourage me to keep going and to make sure that I'm doing everything that I need to be doing. Like, I used, you know, you and Dad were really good for me to just like feel my feelings, and you know, my friends, whoever. I just keep those people around you, because they're only going to help you get through it, and you don't have to do it by yourself. You don't need to do it by yourself.
Right. Exactly. So anyone out there that has had an injury or a surgery or brokenness that we have, please share with us and others what you've gone through. We would love to hear it and learn and continue to encourage each other as much as possible, so that we all can have a great mindset when these things come about, and encourage each other. for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Write down how it makes you feel, write down where you want to be, how you're going to continue to get through it. And I mean, you can even think about it like, if I did get hurt, how would I handle it?
Yeah.
Be mentally prepared for anything to happen. And there's going to be setbacks. There's going to be times that you're progressing faster. But just keep going and don't stop. Remember why you're here. Remember what your goals are. And if it's a reality check and make you say, I don't want to play this sport anymore, that's okay too. But just make sure that you know why you're doing it, and keep yourself mentally in check.
For sure. For sure. So with that said, I have to get a cast put on my hand. So you have to end it. My mother-in-law is now coming to pick me up to take me to go get my hand taken care of. So I hope everyone has a fabulous day and works through their struggles just one step at a time. That's all we can do, is just one step at a time, and feel your feelings, and it's okay. Know that you have support, and we're all loved, and keep going forward.
Yes, definitely. We will see you guys next week. And we hope that you guys take care of your injuries and your minds while you're at it.
Absolutely. All right. Take care.
And bye, everybody.